Hello, members of the vinyl community. Tony P. coming down from the basement of the Casa de Perla, the Hacienda. It's colder than a witch's broom out there. Don't ask me how cold a witch's broom is. I do not know. But this is an entry, and I've been doing a lot of contests, and I figure I might as well join this one too. This is for Robert's on my turntable. He is trying to hit 700 subscribers, and I think he's well past that by now. I think he has like 710 or something like that. If you don't know Robert's on my turntables, I'll put a link down below. His contest, he wants you to show 5 albums that influenced you as a teenager and why they influenced you as a teenager. You have to be a subscriber, and you have to tell him that you did a video. You probably have to put a link down to his contest videos, and you might win 30 bucks. I believe it's an Amazon gift card or something of your choice, or not. So let us not tarry. Let us not take our time, but we're taking our time. Like I said, it's cold. It's hard for me to get started this morning. Okay, so my first album that influenced me as a teenager, and I'm sure it influenced you as a teenager too. In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, Iron Butterfly. And I have to put the next one with it, because these are the two. The next one is Jimi Hendrix, Are You Experienced? Now, if some of you follow my channel, you knew that my story is when I was a kid growing up, I was very poor. We didn't get a stereo until I think I was a sophomore or junior or somewhere around there in high school. And for me to listen to albums when I was a kid, I relied a lot on my buddy Larry. Larry had a portable record player. It was green, it was plastic, but you could close. It was like a clamshell, and you could carry it around. And Larry had these 2 albums, and he came to my house with his record player. And he said, "Oh, you got to listen to these 2 albums. They're really, really good." Iron Butterfly. First of all, I think the song was, 17 minutes? That was unheard of. 17 minutes, a drum solo in there, to boot. And we listened to this probably the whole day, these 2 albums, the whole day. And when we went to school, probably after that weekend, we could do the drum solo on our desks. As a matter of fact, one of the rites of passages was if you could do the drum solo on your desk in school, then you had street cred, as we say back in the day. No, we never said that. And the same thing with Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, all my buddy Larry kept saying was, I heard he burns his guitar on stage. Now, I don't know that, so, I thought that was cool, though. Then as, you start hearing things and talking about things, and, my God, he did burn his stuff on it. But Are You Experienced? On this one, Purple Haze was the one. And, back when we were in high school, everybody was in a band of some sorts. Whether it was a 3-chord band or you thought you were a rock band. But one of the things that if you tried to play was Purple Haze was the one. Hey Joe. If you watched one of my earlies, I have that on a 45. It was a promo that I got from a DJ. And we were trying to get a band together and trying to figure that song out, because you didn't have the internet and get chords off the internet. You had to figure the chords out by yourself, or the solos by yourself, by listening and trying to mimic it on your guitar. Hey Joe, Love or Confusion, May This Be Love, I Don't Live Today, The Wind Cries Mary, Fire, 3 stones from the third stone from the sun, Foxy Lady, and Are You Experienced? Those 2, that's what started me. And I was probably, like I said, I was probably a freshman in high school, maybe younger, maybe 8th grade, something like that. I can't remember the dates. God, I'm old. Okay, so those are 2. Another one was from my other buddy. Jeff. Jeff turned me on to this album. I think you can see it. This is Traffic. I believe this is the UK press. If you get a chance, this is a wonderful album. Wonderful album. Let's see. Steve Winwood's on it, Jim Capaldi, Chris Wood, Dave Mason. Those were Traffic back in the day. But fantastic. It was a fantastic album. I don't know if you can see all that. But Traffic. Mr. Fantasy. That was another one. Jeff also had one of those. He didn't have a big home stereo either. He had a portable record player too. It must have been a thing that now Jeff showed me this, I think, when we were a little bit older. I think we might have been in sophomores or juniors in high school, I think, at the time. But Mr. Fantasy, what a great one. Now, when I was in high school, I ran around with a bunch of buddies. Jeff was one of them, but he sort of drifted off and said to my other buddy Larry, we were still friends, but you know how high school goes. Another bunch of buddies asked me to join them in renting a cabin over the winter. We were in high school, and the guy let us rent a cabin for the winter months because there was nobody going to come and live in it in the winter. It was a summertime, near a park, and so on. And I said, sure, I'd be more than happy to tag along in this. And it was an interesting time. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoons, we had parties. We got together and we crocheted. We knitted Afghans, and some young ladies would come over and show us how to knit. Stitch one, purl it two, pearl, and we would enter them in the 4-H contests. You're not buying it, are you? No. But when we'd have those parties, this was always playing in the background. Led Zeppelin 2, and for whatever reason, Led Zeppelin 2, you would just hear it all. It was on there constantly. The buddy who had a stereo at the cabin had one of those stereos that it was actually an 8-track player, but he had adapted it to use inside the house. And I don't know where he got the adapter or how he made the adapter or where it was from, but he would just stick it inside this case, and it had 2 nice speakers, and we would play 8 tracks. And Led Zeppelin was one of the 8 tracks that was always playing in the background. So when we hear music from Led Zeppelin 2, it takes me back to those Afghan and crocheting and knitting days. Yes. Last but not least, this album in particular, Carole King's Tapestry, probably one of the best selling. I know some of you thought I was going to pull out Linda Ronstadt. I didn't get to Linda Ronstadt until later. But Carole King, this is my wife's copy of Carole King. And when I used to go visit the Queen, when we were dating back in the day, this is one of the records that we would listen to. Remember, I was a poor kid. Didn't have too many going out and spending money dates. I was working, but when you're a young kid and you're trying to, have a car and trying to have a girlfriend, that money doesn't go too far. But I was lucky. We learned how to play pinochle, which we did. She helped me with my homework when I was in college. We sat around and listened to the stereo. But this is the one. Beautiful album. Carole King, she's just a master of this album. Highest selling album for female, I believe. The Cat Telemachus. The guy who did this photograph, I think his name Jim McCrary. I thought it was McCrary. When he went to photograph her, he said, saw the cat sleeping across the room. He said, "Is your cat docile?" She says, "Oh, absolutely." So he picks up the cat, puts it there. He only got about 3 clicks of his shutter in before it absconded away. But that's all it needs. It was just a one shot. Probably one of the most famous cats around. So I think those are my 5. I probably could have added 10 more, but just a little glimpse of when I was like growing up. Still never mastered the guitar very well, nor did I sing very well back in those days. But I was, I had long hair. That's something. Okay, Robert, congratulations. I hope you get 1,000 subscribers. You have a wonderful channel. People, go see him. He has such a great laid-back manner. Every day is a coffee type of day, and he talks about so much great music. It would behoove you, as a teacher friend once said to me, it would behoove you not to go seek him out. Tony P. from the Hacienda, the basement, Casa de Perla. I don't hear any rumblings upstairs. The queen must be done working. I'll see you. God bless you. May all your records be flat. May your needle run true. Ciao, ciao.